Just blabbering about having not liking him. I wrote y'all to have him disciplined. I wrote a complaint. I wrote the letter up exactly how y'all tell us. I even swore to it under oath, signed it, dated, gave his full information, my full information, and put the complaint there.
Okay. Well, if you sent it, did you email it to us or did you send it through postal mail?
It's only one way that y'all accept it, right? Through mail. The same way I wrote up Colombo.
Okay, so we haven't received it as of yet, so I can't speak for the post office.
Hold on.
We just don't have...
It's okay, you got the reference number 228386,
yes.
Right?
The reference number comes from your request for assistance. It does not come from an actual complaint, because when it becomes an actual complaint, it has a whole different number.
So, who is they saying I requested some assistance from? Who said I requested some assistance and filed it in that format?
From ACAP. It says that we...
Yeah, ACAP a company. So who is the actual person who made that determination that this isn't a complaint? It's just a form for assistance.
Like I said, it's not a complaint until we have the complaint form.
It's not a complaint until you got the complaint form, but that's the only way y'all was able to get my complaint is through the form that I filled out and sent to you. So I feel like public fraud is going on right now with somebody at ACAP trying to cover up for Thomas Kobitz because I wrote a written complaint against this man. And you're allowed to do that. Am I correct?
Did you write us just a letter, or did you fill out the form that we have on our website, or have us mail you one?
No, I did it the same way I wrote up Daniel D. Colombo. I wrote it on notebook paper in the same format that it would be from y'all forms from y'all official office.
Okay.
Isn't that what it say in your records?
It says initial contact, and that's it. Looks like it has, like we have the initial contact, like you called us, but we don't have a complaint form.
Okay, that's impossible. When was the initial contact?
The 4th.
Or what?
I'm sorry, I am on a hotline, so I will have to
address the issues with me before you go. Am I being rude or something? Am I not worth finding out what the hell going on so I can figure out how to correct it and who causing me some problems at the floor?
No, sir, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I have other calls in the queue that I have to get to, but I can go ahead and just mail you another form that you can send back to us.
What's wrong with the one I did? Can you give me a supervisor? Can I speak to a supervisor since you got other calls?
Give me one. Hello, Mr. Douglas?
Yeah, who am I speaking with?
It's still me, but...
What's your name?
Your request for... My name is Kai. Your request for assistance is under review, but we don't... K-A-I.
K-A-I.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so...
Your request for assistance is under review, and if you don't hear anything from us within the next week, then you can call us back, okay?
What you talking about? My request for assistance on what case number?
For Mr. Kobit.
It's under review.
We don't have a formal complaint, but your request for assistance is still under review, though.
So what's the difference? What you mean y'all don't have a formal?
Because like I said earlier, it has to be a form that you fill out.
So you can only file complaints on your specific form from your office. We can't write it exactly how it is on the notebook paper.
You can add that information, but you have to fill out that form, that specific form. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't fill out that specific form. That's
why it's not a formal complaint. But if you from us within the next week or so, feel free to call us back.
So, is the case 22-8388, is that a formal complaint?
No.
It's not a formal complaint?
No.
So what is it?
A request for assistance.
So what's going on with that? What do I need to do with that?
You still have to fill out the form. Right.
And what
I
about,
hope you have a wonderful day.
No, I got a question.
Take care.
How do I get these forms? Damn, cracker.
Their menu has changed. Para español marque 7. Thanks for calling Fla.Bar switchboard. How can I help you?
Yeah, can you send me to the attorney complaint line? I was speaking.
Certainly. Yeah. Hold on, I'll transfer you. That's ACAP. Here we go. Thank you for calling ACAP, the Attorney Consumer Assistance Program. Para información. Good morning, ACAP. Hotline, can I get your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Douglas. My first name DACIA. And
Okay, and how can I assist you?
I need to speak to a supervisor. I was just on the phone, of course, with your coworker, Kai, and he hung up on me. And I was rude and disrespectful, and I was asking questions.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, sir. Are you wanting to file a complaint against an attorney?
Well, I need to file a complaint against Kai, and I already filed several complaints against attorneys already, which I was speaking to Kai about, and he hung up on me. So I want to make a complaint to him.
Let me ask you this. You said your last name was Douglas, because I'm going to try my best to assist you and just see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Give me just 1 second. Okay. And so, give me just 1 second. So, is one of the attorneys Miss Mills?
Say what?
Is one of the attorneys that you had filed the complaint against Miss Mills?
I wrote a complaint on her, but nobody even responded back to me or gave me a reference number.
Okay, well, what I will tell you, sir, I can give you the reference number for the file, but it does look like that is going to be, that is being reviewed still, and you will receive a letter from the staff attorney once that review is complete, like once they've had a chance to look at everything. You will receive a letter from them. I can give you the reference number for that file, though, if you like.
Yeah, what is it?
It is 22-8724.
You got the full name of her full name? M-I-L?
Yeah, it's Cassandra Nicole. Yeah, it's Cassandra Mills.
M-I-L-N-E-S?
Yes, sir.
When did y'all get that? When did y'all get that?
It looks like we just recently received it in the last couple of days. So that's why I said it may take a little bit of time for the staff attorney to review it.
And what is it under? What is it under? What do y'all got it filed under?
Well, it's your name and Miss Mill's name. So that's why I was able to pull it up. Because I was looking under your name. That's why.
How many, I want to know how many of my cases. Hello? Damn, these crackers keep hanging up.
Welcome to the Florida Bar.
Trying it again.
Thanks for calling the Florida Bar switchboard. How can I help you?
Yeah, can you switch me to the complaint department? I got a complaint on some attorneys.
Certainly. Okay, hold on. Thank you for calling ACAP, the Attorney Consumer Assistance Program. Para información. Florida Bar ACAP Department. Please hold just 1 moment.
Yeah, how you doing? Can you tell me who I'm speaking with?
Sure, this is Audra. How may I help you?
You say your name Sandra?
Audra, I'm a program assistant. How can I help you today?
Yeah, I need to speak to a supervisor. I called here 3 times, and your coworkers keep hanging up on me every time I call trying to get some assistance. So I need to speak to a supervisor.
Okay, so what's your last name, and I can look this up for you?
My name Douglas. Last name Douglas. First name A-D-A-C-I-A.
Okay, I'm sorry, the phone went out right when you said your first name.
DACIA. Last name Douglas.
Okay, yes, sir. And what? That's right. I see it now. And what's the last name of the complaint that you wanted to speak to the supervisor about?
Well, I need to speak to a supervisor about your coworkers first. Keep hanging up on me every time I call here. That's rude and
what was the last? Yes, sir. You can discuss that with them when they give you a call. But which complaint case file should I send them a message about?
Is no
Kobitz,
supervisor,
Colombo, or Mills?
Is no supervisor available right now?
No, sir, but I can take a message and they can give you a call. What's a good telephone number to reach you?
What's the supervisor name?
Chanel Scholar.
How you spell that?
It is Shanell. The last name is Scholar. Schuyler.
And she not in?
She is not available at this time, but I can send her a phone message and she can give you a call when she is. Can you be reached directly at 216-505-3068?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go ahead and get her a message and she'll give you a call. No, I'm not sure how it appears on the caller ID for you. It may say Florida Bar or it may not, but I'll send her a message for you now.
And when will she be calling me?
During work hours, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So I'll send her the message now so that she can call you.
Now I got a couple more concerns, which I was trying to get them addressed before your colleagues rudely, disrespectfully hung up on me 3 different times.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and get this message to Ms. Scholar so that she can call you and address your concerns.
Yeah, but you can do that too, but you can also assist me before you hang up on me, right?
Well, did you need to file a complaint about someone else, or did you have a concern about one of the 3 complaints you filed already?
I got a concern about what I had originally called for, which was about my complaints against the attorneys.
Okay, about Kobitz, Colombo, and Mills?
Right.
Okay, so if, let me look at the file really quickly, just one moment.
Well, I'd like to know with T. Kobitz, Cassandra Mills, and Kobitz, I had wrote a complaint, and I want to know how is my complaints being reviewed? Is it being reviewed as a complaint? Is it not a formal complaint yet? How do I get copies of the formal complaint form so I can do it according to your procedure, or is it any way where I can do it with on the note?
Okay, now you can either have me mail you the complaint form, or you can now get it from our website. You can either mail them back or email. Would you like me to mail you the forms or email? We can't email. We can mail them to you, or I can show you where you can get it from our site.
Both. You can send them to me through the mail, because I need about 10 more copies.
Okay, we can't send 10. We can send 2 and you make photocopies. They're blank, but we cannot send 10 at a time. But I'll send you 2. But if you want to get them from the website, you would just go to www.Florida.Bar.org/complaint. Now, when you press enter, it's going to take you to a page where you'll see a small box outlined in green that says Download Complaint Form. That document contains the form, instructions, and the address to send that to. Hold on one moment, sir, for waiting on me. So those are the form that I directed you to. That's the same thing I'll send to you. I'll send you 2 forms. They're blank. So you can make copies if you need extra. I'm going to send a message right now to Ms. Scholar so that she can call you back.
Now, can you tell me who assigned to the case with T. Kobitz and Cassandra Mills?
No, sir. You'll have to ask all of that of Ms. Scholar. When she calls you, I'm a program assistant for this hotline.
So why you won't tell me who assigned to the case?
Because this is a hotline. I'm a program assistant. I don't get involved in the files. I answer the calls. So let me get this message to her. You have a good afternoon. I need to leave, sir. This is a hotline.
Is these
Bye-bye.
cases open or closed? Just blabbering about. That video, that recording was February 16, 2022, the Florida bar. That ain't shit. Same day, call back.
This is Audra.
Audra, can you explain to me why you keep hanging up on me and your colleagues keep hanging up on me when I call in?
We're not hanging up on you, sir. We have a limited amount of time, and I was going to take a message for Miss Chanel Scholar. She's available now. Do you want to speak to her?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Hold on one moment.
Say she got a
Let me send you on through. Have a good day.
She meant to say we got a limited amount of patience for your nigga ass. We would never turn on an attorney for your nigga ass, no matter what. Nigga.
Good afternoon, this is Chanel Schuyler.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right, I got two issues. One issue is every time I keep calling here, your colleagues keep hanging up on me, and I feel that's rude and disrespectful. The next issue, which is what's important, is that I was trying to get the situation straight about my complaints that I filed against these attorneys. And I wanted to know why I only got a response back from Teresa Goodson, and I haven't got a response back from anybody else dealing with my other two complaints on my other two attorneys that I filed complaints on.
Who are the other two attorneys?
Cassandra Mims and T. Kobitz.
Cassandra Mims, okay.
They all attached to my name, Douglas.
It looks like there was a letter that is actually going out today to you. And in the Cassandra Milnes case, and you said Thomas Kobitz?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we move to Thomas Kobitz, who is the attorney reviewing the case with Cassandra?
Teresa Goodson had all three of these.
Oh Lord, that lady don't know the first thing about law. And what's going?
Well, she does, sir. But if you'd like to file a closed file review, a request for a review, you can do so. I can give you an email address, or you can just send in a request to the through the mail.
I can do it both. What's the email address?
You just have to do one or the other. The email address is acapintake, and that's ACAPINTAKE at Fla.Bar, and spell out the word Florida, .org. Make sure that's an ORG, not like a com, okay? So acapintake at Fla.Bar.org. That's where you would request a review of the closures.
Okay, so what's going on? So the letter with Cassandra Mims is coming out today?
Yes, and the letter on Thomas Kobitz is actually it dated yesterday's date, so it's probably on its way to you.
And can you tell me what, since I'm on the phone with you, can you tell me what they say, what it's about?
I can send them to you in an email.
Okay, all right.
All right. Is that howarddays67@gmail.com?
Right.
All right, we'll get those out to you, okay?
Now I got another issue, because it's probably I'm going to probably be making I want to make a complaint. It's not a complaint, but it's a issue of concern. Two of them. Well, when we writing complaints against attorneys, we not allowed to write them in notebook paper?
Of course you are.
Well,
sure, you can send it in. You can email it, or you can mail it. I'm sorry, you can mail it in hard copy if you have it on notebook paper.
Yeah. So why is it not considered a official complaint if you file it on notebook paper?
It doesn't have anything to do whether or not it's an official complaint on notebook paper. It's whether or not it was sworn to.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So
And
is that your line or my line keep beeping?
it must be yours because I don't hear a beep.
Okay. All right. So if it's sworn to, and I head it off, this is a complaint against Thomas Kobus, and put the facts, state where it happened, time and date. That's sufficient enough for y'all to make this a full complaint?
So actually, the difference between a complaint and an inquiry is actually a term of art for us. Mm-hmm. So we have to determine whether we're going to turn it into case file and an official complaint. And so right now, this is still at the inquiry stage.
All three of my complaints are just inquiries?
They're considered inquiries, yes, because that's just a term of art for us. Mm-hmm. And so yes, sir.
And why is that? How long do y'all keep it as an inquiry? Because this is affecting people's lives right here with these attorneys that's just running rapid. How long is it going to be an inquiry when it's a clear complaint violation? What's the difference?
Well, and if you would request a review, and if I would reopen it and find that it is sworn to and it's over someone that we have jurisdiction over, and if it has happened within the last 6 years and there appears to be a potential for a violation of the rules, then that would then allow me to turn it into a complaint.
So what do you say? I got a request a case file review, a closed file?
It just a closed file review. Mm-hmm.
And is my cases, do I need to file a closed file review right now?
All you need to do is just email us that you would like your files reviewed.
It sounds like I'm retarded right now because I wrote through complaint to have them reviewed as complaints. And are you telling me my files are closed? Because there's no...
The files are closed right now, and you can request a review of the closure of those files.
And who's supposed to notify me that my files are closed? Y'all wasn't going to tell me this?
Well, that's the letter that you got. One letter.
No, I got one letter, but it don't say my files are closed. It didn't say my files was closed.
So you got, hold on for me just a second. Let me click, because you said you only got one of them so far, right?
With Daniel D. Colombo, from this lady who I don't believe she know exactly what she doing. She didn't tell me the files is closed and that I can request a closed file review. The letter specifically says... She said at the end, it says, the decisions that have been outlined in this letter are matters for your attorney to decide in feeling his or her duty to act in your best interest. There is no indication from any of the materials provided that your attorney has violated any of the rules adopted by the Supreme Court of Florida, which govern attorney discipline. Sincerely, Teresa Goodson, Bar Counsel. She don't say that the case is closed. She don't tell me to ask for a closed file review or anything.
I see where you would be confused by that, and I will address that and with all of our counsel, and just make sure that that's more thoroughly spelled out.
Is that common practice?
Well,
is that her common practice? Is that what y'all train her to do?
Bitch saying all them that show that whole one they had got caught trying to do some slick shit.
At the policies?
Well, I guess that, I can definitely see where that might cause some confusion as to whether or not this file is closed or not.
I'm confused. I said, is that her common practice? Is that y'all policies? Is that what y'all train?
Well, if there's this is some language here that is used, is something that we do use if we're closing a file dealing with this particular issue. But I will definitely make sure that it's more clearly spelled out that the file is actually closed rather than just not as that there doesn't appear to be a rule violation. See, we deal with rule violations here,
right. So now, let's go to the next issue. It seems like Teresa is real crooked or she don't know the law, and that means she don't need to be working on these files. Because if I complete...
Well, I respectfully disagree. Ms. Goodson is a very...
Let me explain what's going on.
Sir.
How you going to disagree?
Okay, well, just try not to make this a personal matter then with our bar counsel, because we are trained.
Facts. I'm stating facts.
Well,
can you let me finish?
I'll respectfully disagree with you on that.
Can I tell you the facts before you respectfully disagree with me?
Sure.
Okay, well, here go the facts. Sure, I know. Here go the facts. I told this lady in this letter with Colombo, I told her that it was a Florida Supreme Court violation, that the Florida Supreme Court have ruled many times that an attorney cannot represent a client without his consent. You can't use fraud to go in the courtroom and fraudulently concoct documents to give to a judge or the clerk to fraudulently say, I requested your representation from the public defender's office. You can't, unless you're saying, and that's the complaint I made on Danielle Colombo. Represent me without my consent, violate my right to Ferretta. I had a Ferretta.
Okay, well, I'll take a look at that then.
Tell me, am I right or wrong?
I can't tell you if you're right or wrong until I look into the matter, sir. If you want to file that request for review, I'll be happy to take it.
Do you understand the law?
I do.
Okay, so do the law allow?
And that's why I would certainly never prejudge a complaint that I've not looked at and looked into and investigated further.
I'm not prejudge my complaint because you said you're gonna look at the facts. I'm saying in details on law.
Yeah.
In general, can an attorney in Florida represent a pro se client without his consent?
I'll be happy to take a look at that if you file that request for review.
Can Cassandra Mills or any attorney represent a client without his consent?
I don't know. I'd have to look into it.
Oh, so you don't want to be honest with me too, huh? You don't want to say yes or no?
It's not about being honest, or I'm not. It's not about being honest, or I'm going to look into it. I'm going to determine what's in the files. I'm going to do an investigation on it. Okay.
I just asked you if this is relevant, so I know not to write any other attorneys up for doing the same conduct she did.
If you want me to review the file, I'll be happy to do that, but I'll have to do an investigation into it first.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you an answer.
I'd love for you to review the files. Can you review my files, please?
Sure. If you write into that ACAP intake at Fla.Bar.Complaint, the file will be placed under my review.
So when you email me these two letters, respond back to you and just say, what? To review.
I would like a review of this file.
And I can't do that orally with you over the phone?
I would prefer that you do that in email or in regular mail.
Yeah, but can I do it orally over the phone?
If you want me to take it now, and set this for review just by our conversation, then I can do that. But then you won't have the benefit of writing in to give me any additional information.
Why would I need? Yeah, I want you to start now, and then if you need any additional information, but you're not telling me what you would need additionally, other than this lady represented me without my consent.
Okay. I'll have these three files set for review.
Can you explain to me why did they close the case on T. Kobitz?
Now I can send you the closing letter.
Yeah, but the closing letter is not going to be detailed as to what happened, is it? Just like...
Okay, and again, the only thing I can do is I'm going to send you these closing letters, and I'll set the files for for review. But I can't review these files for you over the phone.
You don't want to, and I'm just asking you a question. Why was T. Colbert's case dismissed if I wrote a complaint about him tampering with evidence?
I'm going to send you the closing letter.
All right,
and then you'll see.
And what's your direct contact information?
The best way to reach me is through the EGCAP hotline, and that's 866-352-0707.
You got a email?
EGCAP at
No, you got a
Fla.Bar.
You got a personal email?
No, that's the one that you would direct it to.
And your name is Shanell, and your last name is Schuler.
Uyler. Skyler.
Uyler, yeah. And you are.
Yes, sir.
And you an attorney too?
Yes, I'm the director of the department.
Oh Lord. And what's your bar number?
Our number is 30236.
Your bar number is 30236. Now, if you involved in any misconduct, how can I complain on you and Teresa Goodson for...
Send it to...
Yeah. Because I feel like
Send it to the Florida Bar.
So I write the Florida Bar on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, I will do that. And how long will it take for you to respond back to me at least about this Danielle Colombo situation? It shouldn't take 2 minutes because I told you she represented me without my consent. It came to...
I'm going to set the file. I'll have the file set for review. I have several of them ahead of you. So as soon as I can get to it, I will definitely review the file.
Is it about the several? Is they dealing with my complaints or are they other complaints?
I have other complaints ahead of yours that are set for my review.
All right. Usually, how long do these take so I know, make sure I'm...
Up to 60 days.
Each review, so you telling me you're going to make me wait 60 days before you even start to look at my case?
The review can take up to 60 days. I do it as soon as I possibly can.
All right, now can you explain to me why your counsel keep hanging up on me and lying to me about what I need to do to file a complaint?
I don't know anything about that. If you want to write that in to me, or...
Well, I'm telling you now. I just called here 4 separate times today, back to back.
And they've also advised you that they took messages for you, right? Or that you can write in for a review?
So with them advising me something, give them the right to hang up on me while I'm asking them a question?
They can release the call after they've given you that information if they can't answer the questions any further, and
so
there's nothing more for them to do.
They was able to answer questions because I had more questions, just like I had questions with you, and you took the time out to answer, and I was asking them the same questions I asked you, but they hung up on me without answering because
they're program assistants, sir. They can't answer the questions that the lawyer that they were going to take a message for could have answered. You could have spoken with Miss Goodson. You could have spoken with me. I called you right back.
Is Teresa Goodson in? Because I want to see why didn't she clearly understand?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and set the file for my review, and I'm going to send you the closing letters. Okay, and then you can see where it is, and the file will be set for my review. You'll get a copy of that review letter or confirmation in the mail, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Who's over the Florida Bar? We're an arm of the Supreme Court. We're an arm of the Supreme Court.
So can y'all violate our constitutional rights just like the lawyers can violate our rights? Because it may be, I'm trying to see if I can...
We don't represent you, sir, so we're not violating your rights. We're looking at to determine whether or not we need to pursue a rule violation against an attorney. The only right that's at issue here by the ruling of the Supreme Court is that the licensure rule due process rights of the attorney.
The due process rights of the attorney, and if he violate my rights,
to hold on to their license.
we go.
If you have an issue with your own right, then you have to go to court about those.
No, I got an issue.
We don't deal with your rights.
The issue is, if y'all trying to cover up for these crooked attorneys and nobody can hold.
I'm not trying to cover up for any attorney, sir.
Obviously, Teresa did cover up for these attorneys by closing my case and not letting me know. And also, I filed actual complaints that showed they committed misconduct, but my complaints was closed by your attorney. So that shows she's trying to cover up for them. So I want to know, how can I put
Sir, I respectfully disagree that she's trying to cover up for anyone.
Well, she closed
We have a job to do, and the job is that we either close a file that doesn't appear to have a rule violation, or we open a file for further investigation. That's part of our job.
Well, it's clear
I understand
my
that you
had rule violations because I said they represented
and
me
I'll
without
be
my
happy
consent.
to review those. I'll be happy to review those.
But we shouldn't have had to get to you reviewing them if she would have did what was right in the first place, instead of closing my case and saying nothing was wrong with this attorney representing me.
And I'll look into that.
Now I don't trust her, and she works for you, and therefore I want to make sure I can have her and held accountable for her misconduct. So I ask you, who can we go to hold you in the Florida bar held accountable for cheating us and just closing cases when we actually do file?
Go ahead and write that in.
Write it who to you?
Right.
To you?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
This is Audra.
That's me in the Florida bar. What day I said? February 16, 2022. When you write the Florida bar, I write complaints about lawyers representing me while I was my own attorney pro se, and they would just sneak on my case and file motions to continue my trial, waive my presence, anything, just to prolong my hearings. Most of the time when they would do this shit, I was in the county jail as an inmate, so I couldn't get into court to fight them, and then they had a correctional officers hold me in the cell so I couldn't, get on the record and say, hey, who the fuck is these devils misrepresenting me without my consent? Now that I'm home, I write the Florida bar, and the Florida bar closed all the cases with no findings against these attorneys. And one, Thomas Kobus, this nigga even took evidence and just destroyed it because it was in my favor. The body cam footage of a cop choking me, he just altered it. And these white ladies at this Florida bar close out your case, say they don't find no fault in the attorneys, but we can't review how they review the evidence and hold them accountable. And that's what the fight was.